Scatter these two seeds and, well, forget about mulching forever. This is the secret to effortless self-sustaining garden beds. Are you tired of battling weeds, hauling heavy mulch, and watching your garden dry out after every sunny day? What if your soil could protect, feed, and renew itself without you lifting a shovel? There's a secret that experienced gardeners are quietly using to skip mulch entirely, and it's not a gimmick or a new product. It's actually nature's own way of covering and healing the soil. All it takes are the seeds of two incredible plants that do the hard work for you, Phacelia and Buckwheat. Once you scatter them, your soil begins to mulch itself, keeping moisture in, weeds out, and, life pulsing through every inch of your garden bed. Why traditional mulch keeps you trapped in a cycle of work? Most gardeners know the rule. Always mulch your soil. But what few talk about is how much time and energy that costs. Bark chips fade, straw rots, and store-bought mulch often hides pests or molds. Every few months, you're topping it up again. It's a never-ending loop of hauling, spreading, and spending. Even worse, these dead mulches don't actually feed the soil. They just cover it. The truth? Nature doesn't need our bags of bark or rolls of plastic. In the wild, soil stays healthy because it's always covered by living plants. They shade the ground, build structure with their roots, and feed soil organisms through constant decay and renewal. That's the idea behind living mulch. Plants that do all the work traditional mulch does, but better. What living mulch really does for your soil is quite remarkable. You see, living mulch isn't just ground cover. It's a living shield that transforms your garden from the root up. As it grows, it locks moisture into the soil, blocking out weeds and preventing erosion. Quite the natural wonder, isn't it? When the sun blazes, its canopy keeps the soil cool, and when nights are cold, it holds warmth like a soft blanket. While it's doing all that above ground, its roots are quietly improving the soil below. A true friend to your garden, wouldn't you say? Each decaying root leaves behind tiny air channels, perfect for water absorption and microbial life. Over time, your soil turns softer, darker, and more fertile, almost like a sponge rich with organic life. The need for constant watering drops dramatically, and the plants you actually want to grow suddenly thrive. Quite a transformation indeed. But not every plant makes a good living mulch. Some species spread too aggressively or, compete for nutrients. The trick is finding plants that grow fast, protect the soil, and die back easily when their job is done. And that's exactly where Phacelia and Buckwheat shine. Meet Phacelia, the soil's silent restorer. Phacelia, or Phacelia tanacetifolia, is a gardener's dream come true. It's quick to grow, non-invasive, and honestly unbelievably good for your soil. Within just 10 days of sowing, it germinates. In a month, it's already blooming with soft lavender-blue flowers that bees simply can't resist. Beneath the surface, its roots dive deep into compacted soil, loosening it and pulling up nutrients that would otherwise be out of reach. Above ground, Phacelia creates a lush green carpet that shades the soil and blocks weeds effortlessly. It never becomes a pest and doesn't share diseases or attract the same insects as vegetables, making it a perfect companion for any crop. Here's the real magic. When you're ready to turn it back into the soil, do it while it's still green and tender, just before it reaches full bloom. Don't dig deep. Lightly mix the stems and leaves into the top 6 centimeters of soil using a rake or mini cultivator. This shallow incorporation keeps oxygen flowing, helping beneficial bacteria decompose it fast. In as little as 2 weeks, you'll see the soil turn darker and richer, alive with microbial activity. If you let a few Phacelia plants go to seed, they'll gently reseed themselves the next season. That means, year after year, your soil keeps its living armor without any extra work. Buckwheat, the fastest living mulch you'll ever grow. If Phacelia is the healer, buckwheat, or Phagopyrum esculentum, is the sprinter. This powerhouse grows faster than almost anything else in the garden. Within 7 days, it's up. Within 30, it's flowering. And when it blooms, the garden explodes with pollinators. Bees, butterflies and hoverflies all come rushing in. Its dense canopy shades the ground completely, smothering weeds before they even have a chance to sprout. But buckwheat's benefits don't stop there. Its roots exude compounds that help unlock phosphorus and calcium in the soil, nutrients your crops desperately need but often can't access. It's especially valuable in poor, sandy or tired soils. While its roots don't go deep, they spread wide, weaving a fine network that improves aeration and moisture retention. When it's time to incorporate it back into the soil, cut it down at the early budding stage, just before the flowers fully open. That's when the plant's organic matter is at its nutrient-rich peak. Mix it lightly into the top layer of soil and watch as it transforms into humus that feeds your garden for months. The power pair, Phacelia and buckwheat together. Here's where the magic really happens. When Phacelia and buckwheat grow side by side, they complement each other perfectly. Buckwheat races ahead, covering the ground in record time, while Phacelia builds a deeper, lasting structure underneath. Together they form a living armor that keeps your soil fertile, moist, and breathing. Sow them between vegetable rows or broadcast the mixed seeds across your garden beds. After sowing, water well. Around 10 to 15 litres of water per square metre ensures even germination. Keep the soil moist until they sprout, then just let them take over. Once established, these plants need almost no maintenance at all. By the time your vegetables are stretching toward the sun, the living mulch beneath will be doing its quiet magic, conserving moisture, feeding microbes, and, keeping weeds in check. The secret to perfect decomposition. When your living mulch has done its job and it's time to turn it into natural fertilizer, just keep it simple. Cut the plants down and gently mix the residue into the top 6 centimeters of soil, no deeper. Deep burial traps the material where oxygen is scarce, slowing decay and sometimes creating sour anaerobic conditions. To speed things up and ensure nutrients don't get locked up during decomposition, apply a biological decomposer. Mix 10 milliliters of decomposer concentrate in 1 liter of water and spray this evenly over the chopped mulch. For larger areas, use the ratio of 1 part decomposer to 100 parts water. The solution activates beneficial microbes, especially Bacillus and Trichoderma species, that break down plant residue quickly and safely. Within days, what was once green mulch becomes rich, dark humus teeming with life. No foul smells, no nutrient delay, just pure living soil ready for the next crop. The long-term payoff of living mulch. After 1 season with Phacelia and Buckwheat, you'll notice the difference immediately. The soil becomes darker, softer, and easier to work. Watering needs drop dramatically because, well, moisture stays locked in. Crops grow stronger and, yield more. And because your soil biology is thriving, pests and diseases become far less of a problem. Phacelia's fragrance even helps repel harmful insects, while the increased biodiversity brings in natural predators that keep pests under control. You're no longer fighting against nature, you're farming with it. Over time, this system becomes self-sustaining. You sow once, and nature keeps the cycle going. Your soil remains protected, fertile, and alive all year long, with almost zero maintenance. Let nature do the mulching for you. Mulching doesn't have to mean bags of bark, piles of straw, or hours of backbreaking work. It can mean, just scattering a handful of seeds and letting nature handle the rest. Phacelia and Buckwheat aren't just cover crops. They're soil allies, moisture managers, and life bringers all in one. So, if you're ready to give your garden a natural, effortless edge, grab a pack of these seeds, scatter them across your beds, water them once, and, just step back. Watch as your soil transforms into a living, breathing ecosystem that takes care of itself. If you found this guide helpful, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with other gardeners. Let's grow smarter, not harder, and build gardens that work with nature, not against it.